There once was a bowl of treats, filled to the brim with sweets. It took only one man to take more than you can for his hands to end up at his feet. Now we found ourselves a shiny new light to block out the dark of night, but a ghost it contained that lacked some constraint made it end up locked in the sight. Things have been crazy, that much is true, and it's all right after the update too. But we've learned that games can bring us together and give us memories that people remember. So tonight we hope you enjoy this debut. Have a happy and haunting Halloween. So at the beginning of this week, Northwood released the Halloween update and event, and you guys voted on the channel poll that you guys wanted to see me do a full review and say all the different changes and secrets and stuff that are inside of this event, and what's all the small details and such. So that's what I'll be getting into. They've added a couple new SCPs permanently, they've added back some of the old effects, they've added some new effects, and that's what we'll be going over today, so I hope you enjoy. With this update, the visuals that have changed are the pumpkins are back around the map, as well as the leaves that come with them. They've also added orange fog, candlelight in the vents, they've added the green tinge back to GR18, what a beautiful sight it is for the glass therapy. They have also added the pumpkin Tesla lights that electrocute any who enter. These are just some simple cosmetic map changes, they don't make much of a difference other than adding a nice atmosphere to the game. Here's a fun one they brought back from last year, the return of Jackie the Jack-o'-lantern, aka SCP-018, the Ball. But Jackie has now actually got a friend in the facility. The new SCP that has been added permanently to the game is SCP-2176, aka the Ghostlight. The Ghostlight is a light bulb that contains spirits inside of it, and those spirits affect electronics that are around them, and so the Ghostlight, when used, if you throw it at the ground with left click, it will completely black out the room and disable the electronics inside of it. Use it on a Tesla gate and it will disable the Tesla gate. If you right click and drop it, it will take some time to shatter, it'll sit on the ground, roll around a bit, and then explode. It'll do the same effects. Now if it's already been blacked out by PC, for example, and you throw down the Ghostlight, it will unlock the doors instead of locking them, and you get to escape. Same thing if there's a Tesla gate a PC is activating, you use it on the Tesla gate, and now PC can no longer activate it. Another permanent SCP added to the game, and one of the biggest changes, if not the biggest change to the game with this update, is the addition of SCP-330. This is the removal of SCP-012, that room is now no longer in existence, it's now TC-01, which is where SCP-330 resides. There's two chambers, a chamber on the left that is opened by the scientist card, which has all the items of 012, aka the armor, the keycard, zone manager, all of that, but then on the right hand side there is a room with the candy inside of it. This room can be accessed by the computer on the left and only accessed by the computer on the left in the left room. If you use the computer, you can open the door and then get in, but if someone closes it from the outside, you're screwed basically. There's a glass that can be broken to get through if you're a zombie, if you're a marshmallow, or if you're some other way to break the glass like throwing an item at it, so you can pretty much escape as long as you have a keycard. It works the same function as 012. Now time to get into the candy that you can get inside the candy bucket. There have been many changes to SCP-330 from last year. The biggest one is the addition of the candy bucket that lets you hold all your candies in an inventory. You still may only take 2, but you may now hold up to 6 candies. The pink candy from last year was removed, and it is sad, but the new candies are actually quite cool. So first up, we've got green. Green is probably, I'd say, the best candy for juking out SCPs or other players, as green gives you a massive amount of jump boost. They changed it slightly in a recent patch to make you have even more jump boost, so now you can even hit the ceiling with it. Though there is a small penalty after it is done. It has a 15-second run-through timer, and in those 15 seconds, the number of jumps you make is equal to the number of seconds this disabled status effect lasts. So far, I haven't really seen much of an issue with the disabled status effect. I think it just means you can't jump for the next X number of seconds. It's not really bad at all. Use the green candy when you can and when you need to. The second candy on the list I have is blue. Blue is by far my favorite, and probably the community's favorite. The blue candy is what makes you into the monster. This monster is the Marshmallow Monster, the Marshmallow Man. The Marshmallow Man gains a bunch of AHP, 350 to be exact, that does not deteriorate for 15 seconds. He lasts for 15 seconds, but he drops all his items in his inventory. That means if you use this candy, you will lose all your items, but you will become a Marshmallow Man, basically an SCP. You gain 25% damage resistance for the 15 seconds, your movement speed is increased to 5.3 meters per second for those 15 seconds, and the following status effects are applied for 3 seconds after the effects wear off. So, you get amnesia, blinded, concussed, deafened, disabled, and exhausted for 3 seconds after you have been the creature for 15 seconds. The creature also has the ability to perform melee attacks that deal 65 damage per hit. This means when people go to the candy room, scientists start beating up D-Class as the monster, and sometimes D-Class start beating up scientists. I've even had a fist fight as me as a D-Class versus Beshkardash, one of my friends, as a scientist. It was beautiful, a great fight into the death. I actually won it, it was hella great. Yeah, it also means kids are going to be beating up with marshmallow fists, so be careful out there. The next candy on the list is the red candy. The red candy, as you would think, is a healing type candy. So, the red candy gives you 50 AHP that does not deteriorate for 15 seconds, and you have 100 HP regeneration over the course of 5 seconds, though you also get inverted mouse controls for those 15 seconds that you get the AHP. So, if you are in a pickle where you need to heal, you use this candy, but watch out, you're not going to be able to run very easily, you're going to be moving drunkenly all over the place. Next up on the list is the rainbow candy. This one is quite a nice and pleasant candy, nothing really special about it, but it can also be used for jukes, and I quite like it for using against like 106 for example, or even 173 to make him unable to kill you as easily. So when you take the rainbow candy, it'll create a smoke screen of rainbow dust, rainbow powder that'll poof out around you, and basically kind of hide and conceal your presence. It's very cool, I very much like this candy. I actually like all of them, to be fair. The next candy on the list is yellow. Yellow candy is the speed candy. It is better than adrenaline, it is better than cola, but it only lasts for, at first, 3 seconds, but with the patch, it now lasts 5 seconds. This candy will make you extremely fast. The new speed buff is now 150% and will last for 5 seconds. You will be able to run extremely fast and go past people, but the issue is it also inverts your mouse controls, meaning you're going to be running a bit drunkenly. Try to aim in a straight line when you use this candy and just sprint for it. I've used it to juke out SCPs multiple times, though it is not as efficient as the green candy because the green gets you out of their reach, while the yellow candy kind of makes you just run past them, and yeah. The final candy on this list is the purple candy, another one of my favorites, but not quite as good as the blue candy. The purple candy will give you 600 AHP that deteriorates 10 AHP per second after the first 10 seconds. The player model also becomes fat for 10 seconds, and you get a 20% movement debuff, aka you move 20% slower for 10 seconds. This means if you take this candy, you become very tanky for a little bit, but you're also slightly slower, and your model becomes fat, which will then revert after the candy's effects have worn off after the 10 seconds. I quite like this candy, it's very funny, and people love using it all the time. Overall, I very much like the candy. I am just nervous a little bit about maybe them being nerfed, since they are being permanently added to the game, as well as the Ghostlight. This means that when the Halloween event ends, they may nerf them slightly, but I still think they'll be fun and amazing to be used. Now, I've been recording and especially editing for many hours, so I hope you've been enjoying. Hopefully you'll leave a like, maybe subscribe to the channel, check out some more content on it. But I'm continuing this, we're going to speedrun the remaining bit of this event by going over all the SCPs and the different looks of them, so let's go, I'm going to give them some cool nicknames. First up, we got Marshmallow Man, the Man of Marshmallows. Some people have made some very weird nicknames for this guy, but he is truly the Marshmallow Man, since he's shoved full of marshmallows, his body's marshmallows, everything about him is marshmallow. He is also known as the Marshmallow Monster, and he is what you get from the blue candy from SCP-330. I quite like this new addition, love him a lot. But then we've got the Albino Larry, a beautiful white Albino Larry with a Halloween face. He's kind of cool, you know, just the normal, kind of the same thing as last year, but slightly less bright. Then we've got the Headless Ghost Zombie, exactly the same model as last year. He floats, he doesn't have hands, he doesn't have arms, he looks like a Minecraft character when you play as him, and yeah, that's pretty much all he is. Then we've got 096, he's become a red internal light boy, maybe he swallowed a lava lamp or something, I don't know. He likes to rage a lot, he's kind of pissy still, he doesn't like anyone yet. His slapping and everything else, it's all the same, it's just really his eyes are glowing, his mouth is glowing, he's still terrifying, and it sucks because the orange fogs makes it nearly impossible for you to see him from a distance, so making him and activating him when he rages is very easy, and you will die very easily to 096 now, so as always, remember, stay safe, look down at the ground, and don't get killed by him. Watch out and listen to the crying. Then moving on to the next one, we've got the 939. We got a glowing boy here. He's now glowing white and green instead of last year's just common green, which makes him have a little bit more of a neon effect. I quite like it, but last year's was also good. Then the other 939 we've got is the purple doggo. He's the same as last year. He basically breathes purple smoke. He's got his purple cool colors. He looks amazing, awesome, amazing, just like the other 939. Nothing too special about him. Sim loved him the most last year. I loved him the most last year too, but Marshmallow Man takes the lead this year. He's much more cool because you can actually play as him and fight people and SCPs with him. Then last but not least, we've got the 049. He's really cool. 049 is probably the best out of all of them when it comes to changes. He is a dark nightmare. He is a paralysis demon. He is the monster that you fear in the night and in the day. He is hard to see and and he'll come up from behind. Technically, PC also does have a change to him. He has an eyeball now. All of his cameras have eyeballs, though I have a special thing to show you in the last part of this video, which is the Easter eggs part. And also, of course, we've got the D-Class and other models without the hands, because they can lose their hands to the candy if you take more than 2. Chaos kind of look like penguins with them. And now I will show you the different Easter eggs of the game. So, first off, the Easter egg number 1 that I've found that no one else has discovered yet is that there are baby hands. When you have your hands severed, it's not just stumps at the end of your arms. You have little thumbs. You've got these little, like, mitten, fleshy hands. They're literal baby hands. Take a look at this scientist here. If you get a zoom-in, close-up look at that. On both sides, he's got these little thumbs on his little baby hands, and it's adorable and hilarious in a way, especially on Chaos. They literally are penguins. I was hoping the scientist would look like a penguin too, but since he doesn't have, like, the gas mask beak, it doesn't really look like that. And now, finally, moving on to the Easter eggs of the Halloween event for this video. Already, a couple other YouTubers have shown some and made their own videos on this, but I have 2 new ones, basically. The hands, which I just showed you, the baby hands, and the second one is there is a PC part that doesn't have the eye. I don't know if the devs forgot to add it, or this is intentional. I'm assuming they forgot to add it, so sorry devs, I'm exposing you in this sense. But yeah, the eye in intercom doesn't exist. It's just the normal camera in intercom for some reason. I don't know why. Then we've got a couple different spots with things. We've got the Hubert balls, one in the vent, and then one inside of the pipe, inside of the evac shelter in entrance. They're both cool. The one in the vent is from inside of light containment. It is in the red hallway. Then also we have the hidden text behind the PC monitor in SCP-330's room, where a dev says don't complain to Hubert or he may be taken to Hubert's basement. And this proves that Hubert has truly become an SCP. His face is hidden around the mask, and he is putting people inside of his basement. Meaning, if you don't like Hubert, or if you're scared of his face, you probably shouldn't play this event. It's very scary for that. And that basically concludes today's video on the special different add-ons from the Halloween event. Those are all the new additions from the Halloween event. There's nothing else that's new other than some sound effect audio things, such as the new MTF spawning and saying they're Ghostbusters, though that's the same as last year's. So basically, there's no new technical add-ons to the game, and if you enjoyed this, if this was informative, if this helped you in any way, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, check out Shortstalker28. If you didn't enjoy, why did you watch to the end of this video? Get out of here and go watch something that you will enjoy. And to those of you who did enjoy, though, I hope to see you all next time. Bye for now.